Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to the Pepe update today, and there has been a very small relief here for Pepe, and I think it is actually very normal to have a small pump to the upside, especially when you have bigger drops like this. If you look, you have some moves down and sideways, a little bit of a pullback. Now the pullback, of course, it doesn't really mean that it is a start of an uptrend. It just means a small correction in a downtrend, right? So when you are in a downtrend, the pump becomes a correction, right? And the main thing is the impulsive move to the downside, which actually becomes even more red. Now, what I want you to be careful about is Bitcoin, because again, Bitcoin, I always say this, I've always been analyzing Bitcoin for you and matching Bitcoin behavior with Pepe, and it has been, matching with one another, tie to tie. And the thing is that here on Bitcoin, what I noticed is that Bitcoin has made a flag, right? So if you notice this flag, I'm just going to remove this, show you what I think about Bitcoin, and then eventually you'll understand what is going on. So if I do zoom out in here, this is the 4-hour time frame support and resistance for Bitcoin. You have one touch in there, we got another touch in here, we have one touch in there, we got another touch right over here, right? So Bitcoin, what it can do is that it can actually come down again to $99,427, $99,200, something like that, right? And to support that it can actually go down there, we also have Bitcoin in here that has made what? A flag. So we have a bear flag. So 1 and 2, and you're popping down, and it could actually be time to go all the way to 99,000, which is the technical target of that bear flag. Now, when Bitcoin drops, that's going to be almost like a 5% move down. Now we can match Pepe. So does Pepe have a flag? I don't really think if it has a flag. It almost had a flag previously, but it actually failed to do so. But however, keep in mind, there is a threat to go down towards 926. Now if you go to 926, that can be a buying opportunity. Reason being is we have this trend line that is almost coming into a creation. So what I think is either you do something where you can actually pump up like this. I'm actually going to tell you some scenarios, right? I'm not saying it's going to pump, but if it was to pump and make another small correction, then I think you could do something like this where you touch 1204 and eventually come down to this line, 870, 900 or something like that. That would make sense. And secondly is if you don't even pump and you start to drop down from here, you can actually do something where you just drop all the way down to that trend line, because you've got one touch in here, another touch in there, and you can buy, right? You can buy at 904 and trade the thing all the way back up to maybe 1155, and you can get like a 30% move to the upside. I think that's more better strategy. So one entry is actually up at this channel, which is 1226, short it and it goes down. So that's one way to trade. Second way to trade is if it comes to 912 and you buy and it goes up. The bad idea is to buy here in the middle, because you don't know what's going to happen. When you're just in the middle of the channel, you never know which direction Pepe can take. For example, the last time you were in the middle was somewhere right here. You were in the middle and you could have pumped up, but you actually dropped down, right? The second time you were in the middle right over here, instead of dropping down like you did before, you actually pumped up again, right? So that is something you have to be careful about. You do not know which direction can happen when you are in the middle of the channel, so just avoid it, because that's better. Maybe if you just want to take one good guess, but one is just going to be enough, no more than that. If that gets invalidated, stay away, because it's just going to create a lot of tension and you want to understand what to do exactly. And in the middle there will be a lot of manipulation. Let's say you end up buying in here thinking it's going to go up here, and they actually push it down like this, and then you open up a short, they pump it up like this. In the middle you can do a lot of ups and downs. you can do that. There's a lot of room to do manipulation. But when you're in the major resistance, it becomes a little bit difficult, and when you're in the major support, it becomes a little bit difficult because you don't have enough room as you have with in the middle of the channel. So it's a lesson. I think I've explained it well. Do you think I did so? If you think I did explain it well, like the video. And that's all for the video. I'm going to see you the next one. Love you.